Oh, I see that. I see there's a bunch of smoke out there. Pretty good fire. Huh? Oh, lovely. Sounds like an interesting day.
Wherever we go. I pray that this meeting focuses upon you and your plans for us as a body of believers. Let our actions in this meeting be available to our aim, which is to build up and edify one another. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
public comments and receipt of petitions. At this time, anyone will be allowed to speak on any matter other than personnel matters, any matter not specifically listed for public hearing elsewhere on the agenda, or matters under litigation for a length of time not to exceed 4 minutes. No council, board discussion, or action may take place on a matter until such matter has been placed on an agenda and posted in accordance with the law, Texas Government Code Section 551.042. Zach Hamlin. State your name and your address, please.
We pushed the little button on there, please. I'm so sorry.
Right there.
There you go.
Can you hear me now? Zach Hamlin, 4071 North Brazos Street. And I just want to read you something real quick. It won't take much of your time. Good evening, council members, and thank you for allowing me to speak with you during tonight's meeting. My name is Zach Hamlin, and I am officially announcing my candidacy for mayor of the City of Whitney, Texas. Me, my wife Tiffany, and our 4 children, Jayla, Jamonte, Jameson, and Jasmine, moved here from Waco, Texas 2.5 years ago with the goal of settling down in a community where we heard lots of great things about. Since then, I have become a part of the WWFL Youth Sports Organization to help our youth athletes find confidence and enjoyment through various sports activities. I'm a member of Whitney Masonic Lodge number 355 as well as an avid supporter of our school district. I enjoy giving back to the community and hope to do so as your mayor starting April 2nd for early voting as well as election day May 3rd. Reasons for campaigning. One, lower taxes. I do believe that we can get them lower. I believe that we can find more cost-effective solutions when allocating city funds to combat rising tax rates and maybe even lower it. There are better ways to improve the city of Whitney. We just have to work a little harder to find them. By doing so, we can relieve the citizens of Whitney of some of the financial burdens they face year to year. Most of our streets within the city limits need serious repair, and the citizens in our community shouldn't have to worry about damaging their vehicles during their daily commutes. The city is steadily growing, and we need to make sure that current and incoming residents feel comfortable in leaving and returning to their homes. We also need to continue to address the sewer system throughout the city. All citizens need to feel confident that they will always have clean running water and don't have to boil it for daily use. I plan to work diligently with our city department heads to ensure that we find the best solutions to improve our infrastructure. Also, I strongly believe that the citizens in this community should have the autonomy to make home improvement decisions on their homes without having to receive permission from the city to do so. What a homeowner does inside or outside of their home is none of the city's business as long as it does not pose a threat to other homeowners or their property and doesn't obstruct the view of incoming and ongoing traffic. Citizens have the right to privacy on their property, and it shouldn't be infringed upon just because the city wants to make a few bucks on a permit. For example, if someone wants to build a privacy fence and they're willing to purchase the materials and perform the labor themselves, I don't see the point in them having to purchase a $75 permit to be able to do so. The city is not an HOA, and citizens shouldn't have to have the city's okay to purchase paint to make their homes look better. Let's give the citizens private property rights back to them and stop micromanaging every decision they make about their homes. In conclusion, if elected, I will devote myself to giving the community a city administration they can trust and believe has their best interest at heart, a city council that takes their concerns and ideas into consideration before making decisions that will impact their daily lives. And I will work diligently with our city officials to continue making Whitney, Texas, a place our citizens can be proud to call home. Thank you for your time.
I'm here to talk about hopefully y'all passing the taxes, what's it called? Homestead exemption tax. I was kind of shocked when I retired and I moved back down here to find out that it did no good to have it. Homestead exemption, you don't even get a break for it. I thought that was just a law, so I was really shocked. But now I see why some people that have a little more knowledge about it don't move into the city limits. They all seem to go right to the outskirts. Number one, to avoid taxes altogether, but now I see why they pay taxes from being here. So hopefully I encourage y'all to at least pass that. The taxes taxes have gone up on me every year significantly since I've been here. I've been back for 5 years. I was born and raised here, well, I wasn't born here, but I was raised here. I came back here, wanting to come back to a small hometown where taxes were reasonable. Besides the taxes going up, I don't see any improvement in any of the infrastructure around here. The roads, like that gentleman said, are pathetic. Just going to my mom's house, who lives just on the other side of town, tears up my truck pretty much every time I go down it. The holes, some of them are at least 6 inches deep, and I'm hoping maybe y'all can find some money. But anyway, that's basically all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Gregory.
Madam Mayor, City Council members, and residents of City of Whitney. I'm going to be up here kissing this thing like it's my husband because I can't hear anybody when they talk up here. So if I'm too loud, you just have to tell me. I just want to commend you on bringing to the agenda property taxes for the City of Whitney with some possible exemptions that we haven't had. I get the privilege, which isn't wonderful, of seeing widows evicted, veterans evicted, and families evicted because taxes have gone up and they aren't able to pay for them with the insurance and everything else. So as a real estate broker, it really hurts my heart when agents that have been under my license have had to do that. And they have been very patient in spite of banks ordering them to do it. I just want to say thank you. I know we have been speaking about this for the last few weeks because we wanted to see homestead exemptions inside the City of Whitney. So I just commend you for doing what needs to be done on this item. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Kimber, Kilburn,
Yeah, it's on 13. You want to talk that or now?
now.
I'm Tom Kilgrew, 608 Moose Drive. I'm glad you're pushing this to the agenda, and I hope we soon come to a vote on it and to do the Homestead Act and where it actually comes to fulfillment to where we can get some relief from the Homestead Act. We appreciate that, and I don't know why it's continually going on, but I appreciate that we come to an ending of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Amy Teal.
Hi guys, Amy Teal, talking taxes again. I love election season. It's when you get elected to actually start doing things about your tax bills. So remember that, guys, that later this year, when they're adopting the tax rate. On the City of Whitney TX.org website, we can read the notice at the bottom that says 2024 to 2025 tax rate. City of Whitney adopted a tax rate that will raise more taxes for maintenance and operations than last year's tax rate. The tax rate will effectively be raised by 718.7694% and will raise taxes for maintenance and operations on a $100,000 home by approximately $102.80. Now, I do understand that the tax rate did not increase by 718%, but it was still an increase on people whose taxes were already too high. And if I've got the math wrong, and that is a 700% increase, I would appreciate the council correcting that. These new city-specific property tax breaks are a great next step in reducing the tax burden on people and modeling do not covet your neighbor's money. But I am urging everyone who will be here later this year reviewing the next budget and proposed tax rates find ways to adopt a total tax rate decrease to help the small businesses, renters, and others who won't get to feel the impact of this relief. According to the city's website, the median household income in Whitney is $37,000. $37,000. Raise your hand if you would be willing to accept a paycheck every year of $37,000 and then share how you would want your electeds to spend that extra $100 that they took from you on top of what you're already paying. People just can't afford these ever-increasing tax bills. So, yes, I am absolutely in favor of adopting a tax rate decrease for these legally allowed demographics. Do not stop there. Don't stop there, and don't use it as an excuse to not lower the rate for everybody else later this year. Thanks.
Thank you. Move on down to the consent agenda. All matters listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine and will be enacted in one motion. Should a council member desire discussion of any item, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. Line item 6, act on approving the regular city council meeting minutes for the regular meeting on January 16, 2025, and for the special meeting on January 30th, 2025. Line item 7, act on approving the City of Whitney expense reports and register reports for January 2025.
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor?
Department reports, Department of Emergency Services.
Honorable Mayor, council members, appreciate the time. January was a pretty busy month for us. We ended up running, on the EMS side, we ran 59 calls, 47 were in the city, 12 was in the county covering mutual aid for CareFlight. CareFlight actually did come in and mutual aid us while we were on other calls 3 times that month. Our average response time for in the city was 5 minutes, and our average response time out in the county was 11 minutes. And that's from the time we get to dispatch to the time that we're on the scene. We had an average shoot time from getting the call, the ambulance was about 2 minutes. So, on the fires, we ran 92 calls. 7 fire calls were in the city, 12 fire calls were in the county. We also ran 25 first responder calls in the city and 48 first responder calls in the county. I also added these graphs to kind of show you, kind of see the uptick of the call volume from November, December, and January. So it's just getting busier and busier. So I did not put in this report, but I also wanted you to know that we did do 3 certificate of occupancy inspections in January as well for new business. Have any questions for me?
Which new business is where?
Montez, the company bought that. There was an auto place right up here, and then Wayland did a third one right up in the
Thank you. Police report.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and Council. In January, Whitney Police Department responded to approximately 216 calls for service, including the services, motor vehicle crashes, several medicals, and an agency assist. Made a total of 3 arrests, along with 53 traffic stops, resulting in a total of, total of 76 citations and warnings. We did have a pretty exciting call last month. Was we responded to burglary in progress, ended up being at a residence here. Officers responded pretty quickly and got the suspect in custody, and then of course he's sitting in the Hill County Jail now. So I was able to also attend and was invited to the Quill ISD. They decided to do a coffee with the cops kind of thing. Got a bunch of us together throughout the county. It actually turned out pretty well. I think there was quite a few of us. I want to say almost 30 of us over there with all these students in the morning. hoping here soon to get something like that going here in our city as well, maybe on different days because of all the different schools. So we're also currently working on a lot of investigations with CPS right now. I don't know what the influx has been, but a lot of physical and sexual abuse cases that we're working, which is kind of occupying our time right now. Our conditional offers of employment were offered to the officers from last month's meeting. Both of them have accepted and have already started their initial roles in field training and doing quite well. Also, I included in the packets for you guys is the 2024 annual racial profile report required for me by law to provide that to you to review. And basically, it should be the profile reports in there and analysis. And I think that's about it for January. So,
Thank you.
all right, I got Drew here for code enforcement for you.
Good evening. Last month in January, it's been kind of slow around this time of the season for code enforcement side. We had a total of 22 cases. 11 of those are still currently open. 11 of those have been closed. A majority of that revolves around animal control side. And on the animal side, we had 14 dogs at large last month, and we impounded 14 animals. Out of those 14 animals, we had 3 that were still remained in our care by the end of January. As it sits right now, we still have 4 dogs that are in our care. For the code enforcement side, the only case that was open on the code enforcement side was the junk trash and debris. And then it's kind of picked up from there. So it's starting to pick back up, but like I said, it's getting slow around this time of the year. So,
Thank you. Public Works.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. For January, we had 4 water leaks. One you've probably all seen on Facebook. A nice water feature. Our special projects, we're going to be covering that later. I'll leave that one alone for right now. Under city parks, we have equipment and manpower scheduled to help with the Lions Club. They plan a cleanup day, or our little pocket park, as everybody wants to call it now. Which will be on the 22nd if anybody's interested. And for after hours calls, we had 7 sewers calls and 13 water calls. Any questions?
Thank you. Library report. I'm going to take a quick minute right here to introduce Christy Rogers to you. Guest here today, she is our new library director.
Thank you all very much. As you know, I've been interim library director since October, and again, big shoes to fill. I appreciate the opportunity to serve this community. Citizens, council, Madam Mayor, in January, as you just heard, we're working with a full staff for the first time in a couple of, 3 or 4 months. We welcomed an average of 46 visitors per day, issued 71% more library cards than last month. We saw a 400% increase in our Facebook followers. That's a big number I'm super excited about because that means people are seeing things that are happening at the library and they're attending. Ebook usage has grown by 23% while physical books remain in high demand with 1,300 physical items currently on loan. But beyond the numbers, connections happen every day at the library. We're evolving to meet the community needs with exciting new programs like Story Stretchers, which is a free family yoga, with a local business, Lake Whitney Yoga. We had late night at the library puzzle races, and I will tell you that the team who won that had finished a 350-piece puzzle in 61 minutes. And my team only had the outside. I think I need a new partner, but I won't put that person. It wasn't John. He would probably have done better. And now, starting last Friday, we have a free three-part Tai Chi series, so there'll be Tai Chi tomorrow night, again free, with another local business in town donating their time and efforts, Lone Star Healing Arts. Tomorrow afternoon, we're hosting a resume workshop with Workforce Solutions that is helping locals build skills and find new opportunities. This will be followed up with a job fair in April. These numbers and these programs paint a clear picture that our library is growing and adapting. And if you don't have any questions, I'll see you at the library.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Regular agenda, line item 8, deliberate and act or give guidance on a citizen's agenda request for placing a street light at the intersection of Washington Street and San Jacinto Avenue. The Whitney Urgent Care will outline the clinic needs.
Hi guys, really good. So, for those of y'all who've seen our building, Sanders-incumbent runs along, we have the ambulance alley on the opposite side of that. I mean, it's an abandoned building right now, that unfortunately.
Thank you. Can everyone hear me? Let me do that all again. Hi, it's me again. So, to give y'all perspective, if you're looking at our building, you have the ambulance bay side, and then on the opposite side of that, you have unfortunately 20,000 square feet of unoccupied building. It's already a great target for danger, I'd say. So, of course, for myself, I put in security cameras, motion security cameras, to do what I can to protect the building. On the outside of it, as Whitney PD will know, we've had a recent, actually a couple of months bout of homeless who are constantly camping in the underground parkway. So it has caused a couple of problems. We've already added from ourselves motion security lights to try to help it. Whitney PD has also tried to help by setting up a nightly patrol. Nonetheless, especially with the way that the building is tucked and just the lack of light out there, it's still a very good draw for homeless. In an effort to protect the street, the pieces that are in there, we already talked to Texas, New Mexico, and they do have a light pole right across and actually a pole on that property that they said they could wire into to be able to add a light. So back and forth with them, it apparently becomes the city ground to be able to approve of a light from what I understand, and then they can actually go and implement it. So the ask is if we can wire into the existing infrastructure to put a light and at least give more brightness and protect the assets of that area.
Council, so, that one's dead. So, I don't know, I'm sure you saw on Facebook, but we recently had a meeting with TNMP. This was one of the items that we discussed at length. It is up to the council to designate a street light where it is. There's no cost for the install. The city will just pay for whatever it costs monthly for that light to be in service. They did mention that if the infrastructure will not support the light, that they will send an engineering team out, design whatever they need to design, and then they will let the city know what that looks like under no obligation to the city. At that point, we can say yes or no, if it's gonna cost us anything out of pocket. But they seem to think that they would be able to get something in there. And this, again, is at the very end of Washington, right by San Jacinto, by the old diner area. So it is very dark there.
Yes.
Make a motion to approve, we'll move forward.
Second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Line item 9, deliberate and act on professional services compensation agreement between the City of Whitney and Baker Opportunity Properties LLC.
All right, council, so as you heard last month, we have a developer wanting to develop 70 acres in the city's ETJ, currently with the possibility of annexation. That's very highly likely. So what we're wanting to do here is we've never done this before. This is something that I want to establish going forward. When we have a developer come in the past, the city has eaten the costs for professional services, meaning engineering services, legal fees, anything that developer needed to make that development go, as far as development agreements, contracts, or anything, the city's had to incur that cost. We're doing something different now because we are being better stewards of money, and we're going to establish a development agreement, professional services agreement with Baker Opportunities, in which he will deposit money into an account for the city. It stays there, it's locked in that account. And any of these professional services will then come out of that, and he gets an itemized bill. If it reaches below a certain money level, he has to bring it back up to the top end. So this way the city doesn't have to pay for engineering services, any legal fees, or anything that's professional services related comes out of his pocket.
Do we need to make a motion?
We do.
I make a motion that we approve the agreement between Baker and City of Whitney.
And I'll second it.
All in favor?
Thank you. Line item 10, deliberate and act on a resolution 2025-0201 of the City of Whitney, Texas, authorizing professional services provider selection for hazard migration assistant program funded through the Texas Division of Emergency Management, TDM, and/or Texas Water Development Board, TWDD.
So this is, we've talked about this before, we've gone through this process with, GrantWorks has submitted everything we have to do, where we go through and we evaluate everybody in point scales, just like we do for grants. We, as the committee, selected GrantWorks to go forward as our procurement person. So basically what happens is if there's funds released for disasters or anything like flood mitigation like that, we have them for 3 years as our administrator, and we don't have to go through this whole process. We have the option to renew it for 2 more years. So for 5 years total, I guess these things are just gonna go out on us. So for 5 years total, we can have GrantWorks for our administrators, so we don't have to go through the RFP process, we don't have to go through all the things, and we can immediately use them to get any funds available. So this is just a resolution designating GrantWorks as that administrator.
May I make a comment real quick? Of course, y'all know that water quality is extremely important to me, very passionate about it, having worked in that line of work 13 years. So I'm going to make a recommendation that we go forward with the assistance program for the next 3 to 5 years.
A second. All in favor?
Line item 11, deliberate and act on an ordinance 2025-0201, amending Chapter 7, Municipal Court Article 7.02, Judge, to provide for an associate judge.
Council, if you remember about a year or so ago, we redid our ordinance pertaining to our municipal judge. The one thing that we failed to look at that time was the appointment of an associate municipal judge. So what that means is if our municipal judge has to recuse himself or is unavailable to act, we have nobody in that stead. So this ordinance changes that to where we can appoint a municipal judge. Judge Deton has somebody that he's already vetted and would like to move forward with, but we have to change this ordinance first before we can do that.
I'll make a motion that we, amending, that we approve amending Chapter 7.
All in favor?
On item 12, deliberate and act on a professional service agreement with Westwood Professional Services, Inc., to submit a project information form to the Texas Water Development Board for funding from the state revolving fund and authorizing the mayor to execute the same.
So there's 2 new ones that you have on your table. At the time of your packet release, legal hadn't had the chance to review it. This has gone through legal now, and what you have in front of you is the revised version that both Westwood and our legal department have gone through.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
And I just want, there are 2 that you have in front of you. I just need to, want to order it, but there's 2 in front of you. One of them comes from the state revolving clean water drinking, and the other one is I think it's the safe water. But there's 2 different funds that we're applying for, and I just need you to know, we've already got the grant on our way for streets and drainage. This is gonna be used for water and sewer projects. This comes out of the state revolving fund. Sorry, Mayor, I didn't.
Okay. So we have a motion, is there a second?
I'll second, and I'm completely in support of water and sewer.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Line item 13, deliberate and act on ordinance 2025-0202, amending chapter 11, taxation to add article 11.7, property taxes to establish a resident homestead exemption and residence homestead exemption for disabled individuals or individuals age 65 or older.
I make a motion that, we amend chapter 11 taxation. I say.
Can I question, ask a question on this? So is there possibility to have a dual, like they can have both? Also just a regular exemption?
It would be whichever one's higher, and the applications have to go through the tax office. The city won't handle this. It's important, and one of the reasons that we're putting this on right now is, and it's important that you know this, you need to get your applications in for your homestead exemptions by May the 1st, I believe it is, through the county. So we're trying to get this, so you can get that filed for next year. This will give a regular homestead exemption of $5,000 and the 65 and older or disabled at $10,000. The city has always had, by state law, given the tax breaks for veterans, disabled veterans, surviving spouses. That's state law. But this is something that we haven't done, which is homestead.
So we have a motion and a second.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Line item 14, deliberate, act, or provide guidance on extending an appointment offer for one police officer applicant.
Hello again.
Hello.
All right, so for the first time, I want to say, I don't know how long I've been here, almost 2 years now, this last tenure. Prior to that, I don't know when we've actually had a full police staff. And so I have one last remaining position, and of course, all the applicants that we've had narrowed down to Ms. Christine Holt, who currently works for Texas CPS, Department of Family and Protective Services. She's a special investigator with them, but also has many years of other investigative skills that she can bring to our agency and to our community. And I think she'd be an excellent asset for us to have and fill that last spot. And just basically asking council's approval to offer her a recommendation for appointment.
Is she here?
She is not.
I make a motion that we, extend an offer of employment.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Executive session, if during the course of the meeting covered by this notice, the city council should determine that a closed or executive meeting or session of the city council or consultation with the attorney for the city should be held or is required, then such closed or executive meeting or session or consultation with the attorney is authorized by the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code 551.001, etc. Will be held by the city council at the date, hour, and place given in this notice, as the city council may conveniently meet in such closed or executive meeting or session, or consult with the attorney for the city concerning any and all subjects and for any and all purposes permitted by the act, including but not limited to the following sections and purposes. Texas Government Code Section 551.071, consultation with attorney. Texas Government Code Section 551072, discussion, purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property. We'll go into executive session at 6:35.
And the stream will continue running through executive session. They have to come back into open session to act on anything that they discuss in executive session. So the camera runs until they adjourn. And they haven't been spending 3 hours in executive session, so this shouldn't be a problem.
She's not doing it. She's tired.
No.
That's our sports organization. And so we're going to do a community with baseball games one day. They had to sit at yes. I call him. Yep. He's not involved. He's got his own organization and does his own thing. So our organization actually took over all of the youth sports in It ain't gotta be nothing special because we all gonna be out there getting dirty. All right. What you know, just like.
That's close enough for
3 times? 5 times.
Water flow, especially in floodplains around here.
And that way
Okay. What's your last name? Okay, gotcha. I got you, my brother. Yeah, I'll let you know for sure. And keep an eye out on Facebook too. Because if I forget, not a lot going on. Because I know your stuff too. But if I forget, keep an eye out for the Facebook page and we'll put it in there too.
Last time we wrote it, you guys involved with that.
I appreciate it. I know, I see you riding around all the time anyway, so I know you got a back.
We didn't get that much rain.
Yeah. Do what?
Whether he's smart enough.
Okay.
Zach.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Yes, ma'am.
Zach, cover you. I like Zach a lot.
Get in there.
Minute by minute.
Yes.
Well.
Where's your exit?
Yeah, they go back there for their executive session.
I'm the level skater.
Right here.
So.
This is my first time here.
Well, good thing is no matter what building you go to, look for an exit sign. That's your way out. Look for their big bright red line sign.
And I saw the post for the summer camp coming up. So do I need to get Monte registered?
Yeah, that's all you gotta do.
Okay, okay,
Yep.
that's fine.
Payment, all that kind of stuff will come later.
Okay.
We're having a parent meeting on that. I just posted that before there's sign up to, $125.
That's my favorite.
Yeah. Kid over here for that. So yeah, just go on, there's a link there.
I don't know.
In the most recent post I did, there's a link there.
I'm the one that called it.
Go on,
The one over here by the church.
Oh, yeah.
all set.
Yeah, I wasn't here that day.
I bet you wait. Steve!
Huh?
I seen something that said May 3rd.
May 1st is the
Call me.
deadline.
No, I wasn't here.
And May 14th is the parent meeting. But it's all the same stuff, but we've got new parents, all that information on there.
There's a bunch of
Okay.
I had it to White Vision.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, God.
I checked.
I said, I told
I told you, I need a beer queen. I said, I need a Hill County beer queen.
Yeah, I'm starting
In the
to
fire.
There you go. That'll work.
And guess what, when he saw me and he went back to me, thumbs up.
Good. That's awesome.
I just thought I was doing a kind of like that.
Alright, that's the best thing you do. Keep your distance, let us do our job. That's good.
I just was at the car wash.
Yeah.
Then I seen that wreck and I just tried to call it in.
Wesley, I'll let you know.
All right.
All right. Chris? We'll be gone pretty soon, though. I'm ready for next week. I'm ready for next week.
I got a couple of weeks I got buried right now, so we couldn't get to them.
Did they freeze?
No, that's why we kept them buried. Keep them buried and
They hold on.
yeah, as long as they make it those warm, it's gonna be good.
When we started buying the house.
Hey, brother. My name's Jason.
Right when we started buying the house. Because that old clay pipe that runs under the gutter, they still had running in the backyard.
Right on the flag.
I do know that lady. She visited our school board meeting several times.
Yes, and they finally went out there and they placed it on.
Okay. Yeah, that still sounds. It was good for its time.
Yep.
I didn't know so about you.
Exactly.
He flew out of you. He's gone, he's out in the car.
He might be recording or charging his phone.
You know, check on him.
I saw that. I'm
Yeah, the video where the radio of a whole weird place that were very released. Like some that ain't that have like but you know when I'm sure they shut that down. It looked like T-pole versus we have to apply for all that. It's a process. So our end goal is to have Whitney ICPD. Y'all need help or anything, let me know. We're in that process. We're just not there yet. Yeah, but we're working on it. Yeah, if y'all need help with any other reason, let me know. I set up literally all by myself, ground up over there coming. So they brought me on as director of safety and security. So that's what 10. Yeah, right now. Yeah, I know 10. I know all your guys. So I actually went up there and I got with them and I got with Todd. And I got all 4 of them to come to my training. Nice. I don't know if they told you all that they went to it. So yeah, I know all your guys, and I know 2 of them are past police officers. One of them's trying to get his license back right now. I don't know which, Tim, I don't know if he's trying to or not, but one at the junior high. Yes. Think of his name. He's trying to get his license back right now. Yeah, if you need help with any of that, let me know. Okay. Any of the policy stuff, just blanket policies to at least get them out there. The good thing is that there's lots of other districts out there that all you gotta do is just. So yeah, that's what I'm saying, like, I've got everything from Covington still, you just copy and change it. Only bad thing, I'd say bad thing, only thing that would be different for y'all is, the amount of schools that y'all have versus each other. But one of the good things is when y'all do y'all's ISTPD, even if y'all just started with the 2 officers, so y'all got 2 guys right now that already have T-pole licenses, get them back going again, y'all trying to agency with just those 2, and y'all don't have to have 4 officers, right? Y'all can keep y'all's armed security at the schools until y'all get more officers or get more budget allocated. I will tell you, when y'all go that route, there are grants out there to pay the salary of your peace officer, and then it slowly falls off every year. That's the hard part.
Oh, Emmy would be in the back.
Because we're just security, but if they were actual, now, because some are peace officers, but they're not, like, acting in their role or licensed or whatever. we're still having to pay all of it, but we know that. We know that there's grants out there that, holy smokes, if you do that, it's,
And I'll tell you another thing, if whenever you want to get it going, and I know from working with Blum, Chief right now, Spencer, I don't know if you know him. So he's one of my best friends. We're going to trying to get changed in Congress for the teacher retirement, the TRS, which is what never really realized whenever we come to school to be a cop. We need to go with our county or municipal retirement, and it doesn't merge over. The time does, but the funding itself doesn't. So it ends up. Do what?
That's how I'll be right.
Okay. Yeah, it ends up hindering us a lot. So like Tim, who's a past cop, and over there, their retirements that they built already.
I think you had to leave this room when they went into executive session.
They can add on to that. So I would say,
No.
look at it and put, to try to be able to use that.
At least they haven't been. Okay.
Try to get them more.
Should be much more pumping. Is that still on?
Yes. It streams the entire meeting from start to finish.
Roll out of the way.
You can roll right into the way and say whatever you want and talk about your campaign or anybody else's campaign.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I usually warn people when I start up a stream at a meeting, you know, hey, I'm getting ready to go live, so if you have any, you know, family secrets or national clearance information that should not be shared publicly, you might want to step out of earshot. It says, if you have anything you want to mutter for the world to hear, lean in closer so we can hear it clearly.
Could you hear me from the microphone?
Yes. Yes. You did a good job speaking.
Nothing else is going on on Sunday morning.
I can't wait to tell somebody that, yeah, I did bring up sex. I can't let it go.
Everybody knows, Debbie. Everybody knows.
God made it. Kissing my husband.
Normally I do it on Mondays, and I did start.
Your comments tonight were just more G-rated, which is good.
Oh, I'm always G-rated. I just
No, actually,
have to make mention. What makes the world go around? It ain't all this other. You know what?
Over here at the First Baptist, we let us use their building for that class. Twice over there.
I failed to bring you something upstairs. I'm sorry.
I also host classes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's one of my big deals. I know a lot. I've got a lot of veterans in my security group. I know a lot. I've got a lot of former PD guys. But it's always great to hear outside.
We can go to like Tres Hermanos after they adjourn or something if you want.
DFW area. Free to the public. You're going in. I just want houses of worship to be safe. So I'll let you know.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll get with the chief and see if we can maybe make have where we can put some kind of extra shooter class on there.
Please do.
At least especially like our church. Your church can do something.
Okay.
Where's what's going on maybe for sure you for being in school and so I'm sure you know grades and hours and all that. See if we can't get something. It's really fun when we can intermingle the simulation realm with it. It really gives you a reality. Even as cops, I mean, you'd be surprised when, you know, I put on that alert class to bring in.
Shot with a crayon going 1,600 feet per second.
And I mean, you're in the ring, you know what it's like. When you actually do some, you know, real live fire training and stuff, what you think you know, you don't know. So, it's a whole nother world. You really freeze up even knowing that it's.
Have you looked on the map to see where those properties are located? Because I never looked up.
For sure. Yeah, I'll get with him and see if we can figure out a way to make that happen. I know
Are you
getting
warm?
those ammunition guns.
Actually, finally warm.
unless you buy
Fine,
them.
what
They're
do you
expensive.
I've had a lot of rubber duckies, yellow guns, because of USCCA. Most of our guys have USCCA for their handgun license, or handgun liability. Handgun, that's all another thing.
Yeah, and I mean, they're as much as they're as much as
Yes,
a gun.
yeah, for sure.
I'll talk to them, see if we can maybe just figure something out. The state doesn't necessarily like you. So I can go on and order and shit and stuff, but if you're not putting that 5 for law enforcement, it's
He did
like,
the same way. He wore
so the craze class doesn't necessarily have
So,
For the audience, I've been working on my spreadsheet. And part of my bond spreadsheet is tracking the actual order of election. Order of election. Yes, because there's nothing else happening. And I wanted to sit down, so I could just look at it. So I've got all these, I am not, but I sent off all these,
Training jacket.
public information act requests last night, and they've all been coming in today.
yeah, you set a precedence for what's, so that it's not frowned upon. I mean, you got the right. Never have too much of a firm believer in that.
Tax hikes May 2025.
What was your name again?
I've
Okay, all right, I got it.
59 bonds in Texas that I have found so far.
59 bonds, are those school bonds or?
No, not all of them. The first 10 are city,
Theater or
county, and there's probably more of those. City bond, the city of Arlington has a bond election.
So bonds for like water or sewer or?
Water, sewer,
Oh,
jail.
sometimes they do things for sports complexes. Oops.
14 full hours.
Okay, that was fast.
But they didn't open it. Yeah, don't say they didn't open it, that's so you can go online and call it. He did the same thing to me when I went to.
Come out of executive session at 6:54 p.m. Line item 15, deliberate and act if necessary on executive session items.
I make a motion that we authorize the mayor to go ahead and, act on the sale of the property of ID 107699 and 107700.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye. Motion to adjourn.
6:54.
Done.